main point of argument, and the main point of argument is why social media actually promotes hostility and why it's bad for people to access it. And before we would like to get into that, first of all, a few points of rebuttals for the opposition team. First of all, the opposition team explained that the social media itself is actually a good way to look for information. And if you think about it, yeah, of course, it could be used to look for information, but the information itself will be useful. Maybe the information itself will be might as well be useless. In fact, if we're looking at the worst case scenario, the information itself might even be harmful to the people. And the next thing is that the opposition team also explains that the social media can influence public discourse. And therefore, then the next thing that I said, the social media can actually become a place or a media for people to actually support their person or something like that. They can support other people with that. But here's the thing, you don't really have to support other people with social media. There are other ways to do that. So I don't really think so. The argument given by the opposition team can be easily negated by that. And then after that, I would like to get into my main points of argument. First, of course, social media itself is addictive. Why? You can't really deny that. You can't really deny that. We as a human being, we are a social creature. We are social being. We have the need. We want to socialize with other people. And with social media, it becomes a platform to socialize with other people. But in a way that is not face to face. You can't meet people face to face, and that will become a problem. Why? Because people develop social anxiety. Why? It's very different with one another. Like say for example, like what's the proof that people who are addicted to social media will be lonely? Of course, it can already be proven. Why? Because people who always use social media are always too focused on social media. They're always using it over and over again. So they ended up stuck in this loophole of being addicted to social media, and they can't get out of it. So even if there is a good side that's given by the proposition which we already negated, we already explained why it's wrong. Even if there is the harmful, even just by saying that one part is already enough to actually invalidate their opinion. And then the next thing is also taking account on the mental health of those who are actually accessing that social media. Wait, because for example, social media is a bunch of useless information that it deals with posts or even like bullying or even negative news. So you say for example, on today's time, we have like the war between Israel and Palestine. And of course that we don't know why, because people tend to actually spread like the video of someone of their bodies, like their clothes being mangled. Now, of course, that will take a toll on someone's mental health, because imagine if you just go into social media and you suddenly saw a dead body. Like, is that even a good thing? Like, you can't deny that it's something bad. So, of course, I don't really see why social media have more good than harm. The next thing is that, of course, social media can also bring hope. And hope doesn't just affect the society. Hope can also affect like the government itself. Like, it will actually disconnect the overall connection between the government and the society. Why? Because if there's a hope, like let's say for example, the vaccine have microscopic chip, let's say for example, and people won't take vaccine because of it. And here's the thing, we as a Indonesian, we have one problem, we have one characteristic in that we are gullible. We are easy, it's that easy for us to believe something that isn't really true, and that's become a problem. So, and other than that, people in Indonesia also fail to see the importance, the urgency of verifying the information. So yeah, of course that will become a problem on their side of the house. And then the next thing is that, as I said previously, it can spread a bunch of useless or even harmful information. Now let's just say for example, I'm sorry to bring sensitive topics, but let's just say it can be used for something like pornography or sexting. And even if you want to take an example, just give this a case that's been discovered, is that people on Telegram creates a group where bad people can meet other bad people. I mean, pedophiles actually create a group specifically for pedophiles. And here's the thing: if they want to join those groups, they have to actually provide something that can actually be useful to them. So that means they have to give a certain personal information, and of course that could be a certain problem to the people themselves, those who access it. And then my next point of argument is that it will, of course, make people feel lonely. Why? Because as I said previously, of course, we are social beings. So of course, if you're maybe arguing, well, the social media in itself doesn't really negate the idea of socializing with other people. Yeah, of course, we admit, we acknowledge that social media can socialization. But here's the thing: socialization through social media is very different from socialization in real life. Like just say, for example, you're texting other people, and then yeah, you're fine with it. You're just okay with it. And then the moment they quote you, and then suddenly people have anxiety. So that is the main problem, and you can't deny that at all, ladies and gentlemen. That is one of the main problems of social media right now. Other than that, we also have one big problem. It's also set an unrealistic expectation. As we know, social media becomes a media for people to upload, like a fake or persona or something. Let's just say social media celebrities. Social media celebrities tend to post something that is like they're happy that they're let's say for example they're visiting the beach or something, and then they're having a vacation, and then they're posting it on social media and hashtag using all of that stuff. And of course, that would be a problem, right, for other people that can't have that. They will be envious towards their people, and of course that will become hatred. They will spark more hatred. As I said previously, social media is anonymous, so people who doesn't like us, other people, they can just comment and just spread some hate comments like, oh, like let's say, oh, that will be no problem, right? And then the next thing is that it doesn't just affect the social media celebrity; it's also sets another expectation towards, like I just said, for children. Now, as we know right now, children have unrealistic expectation towards a career. Like I just say, for example, YouTubers. YouTubers already brainwash our children to want or have the expectation of that they want to become a YouTuber so they can have like a lot of money and all that stuff. Now, of course, that will be a problem. Why? Because YouTubers is hard. So if we could just set an unrealistic expectation, also being a YouTuber or even investing in social media is not absolutely. There's no guarantee that you will be successful in investing in social media. So I don't really see the growth in. I don't really see. On their side of the house, they fail to feel that burden of growth. They fail to prove that social media can be used for good purpose. Like how does it even matter? Like how can be beneficial for most people? Like what is the guarantee? How can they guarantee it? Therefore, with all of the points that I said previously, we on the proposition team proudly proposing this motion. Thank you.
The Deputy Prime Minister of the government spent 7 minutes 30 seconds. I repeat, 7 minutes 30 seconds. Now let's hear the response from the other side. Deputy Leader of Opposition, Nadia Saramapa Febriana Sari, time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, distinguished visitors, and my dear speakers, I wish you a very good evening. As a second speaker, I would like to say that I totally disagree with this motion. Social media makes